Om Shanti. Good evening to all of you,
Om Shanti Mohan.
and welcome to
Om Shanti.
our next session. And before we get started, let us pause for a couple of minutes and try to consider myself as a point of eternal light. I am not this body, and I go to my home, eternal home, land of peace, land of silence. And be in the company of the supreme energy. Gently disconnect all other active thoughts and be stable in your home with your eternal father and mother, teacher and guide. And gently come back to this physical world, into this body. Thank you. Are there any question from last evening's topic? I take it as a no. So we will move on with few other new concepts today. And before I start with this new concept, I like to share a tip which has helped me in my spiritual journey. Even though I was not aware of this, or I didn't make that effort in the beginning stages, but I thought it is useful for beginners to have that kind of training or mindset, so that the concepts and our spiritual journey becomes more faster, more meaningful. And that is, one is to believe in eternity. Second, to have unlimited consciousness or awareness. And third is broad minded. I will start with this broad minded. We are so caught up in our day to day activities, relationship issues, health issues, family, work. And we become so sensitive to a lot of little things, and we start to become very aware and take sides, criticize, judge, all of that. When I have this broad mindset kind of training, then I will let go or accept these trivial things in life. I say this trivial because we are looking only in this limited time space or limited consciousness of this birth. So it becomes essential to move on, rise above that. I will try to solidify this concept or approach. Say, for example, if we all renew our, whether it is an internet service or when you have this annual renewal services contract, and when you do a renewal, you feel that, oh, I'm good for 1 year. That's nice, and then you don't have to worry about it. And you know that 1 year is not that far. Then let us take another example, like a driver license. Driver license, you get renewed once in 4 years. So when I renew it, I feel, oh, 4 years is a long period, and that's good. And you tend to forget, and you relax more because 4 years is longer. And then going further, you take passport. Renewal period is 10 years. And 10 years is even longer. You feel like, oh, it is going into eternity. And I'll give one more example of this 401k. Assume if one is in their 20s and they start to contribute to 401k, they know very well the distribution of that happens at 59 and a half, which means I will have to wait 30, 35 years to take the distribution from that. And 35 years, gee, it's like a very, very long time. To comprehend that, I feel, oh, it is kind of forever. So this is the mindset we are in when we are in this physical lifestyle. And when we step into spirituality, to look beyond this birth will help one's journey on the spiritual path. You can find your own ways and methods to do that. So I thought I will begin that initially and share that so that you can work on it and take benefit in your own journey. Okay. All right. Today, we are going to talk about a new concept. And this concept is about cycle. In nature, everything seems to be in cycle, cyclic. We have, day, night, and again, day comes out, night happens. It is cycle. Same thing with weeks, months, January, go through December, and we know once December, then we get into January again. Same thing with year. 1 year and then a new year begins. Same thing with seasons. We have spring, summer, and after winter, again, spring comes. It is a cycle. Everything happens in cycle. So we can also work on, believing this cycle, and that will also help our own journey on this path. This cycle, any cycle, there is a phase, there's a beginning phase, then um, it gradually grows, and then there's a plateau, and then it deteriorates, and then a new cycle starts. And there is that little transition that happens from one cycle into the next. I will share that in a slide. Which is called a paradigm shift. So you see here, in a cycle, it begins with the start, and then there is the growth. Oops. And then it reaches a plateau here. And once that is happening, see, it tapers down here. And there is a new cycle beginning when it is at the peak and start to reduce or taper down. And this second cycle moves and it goes through the same thing. So you see the four phases that a cycle goes through. However, you will notice that there is this period called this as a transition, which can also be called as chaos, because a lot of things start to happen in the transition. I will give a couple of examples. Say, for example, you quit the current job, and or you are planning to move to a new job, and you are in the last few days in the current job. You may not have that interest of what is going on in the company, because your mind and intellect is moving to a new job to know what your role is, who are the people that you will be working with. So there is that chaos phase. One is you're not interested what is going on presently, because you know that you are done and moving on in life. And then you are also preparing for the new place. So this is something we all go through. And this shift is kind of, you are into two cycles. You're leaving one and moving into another. Yeah. So with this understanding, um, we understand that soul is eternal, God is eternal. And one other thing about the physical world is there are so many theories of the evolution when mankind came, and different theories. But I will not go into those theories. But I want to bring attention here to one other thing, that is, matter is also eternal. God is eternal, souls are eternal, matter is also eternal. God is ever constant. Souls go through the phases like a paradigm shift where higher consciousness, the consciousness starts to reduce. And when the consciousness reduces, in other words, soul's original qualities starts to get depleted. Souls becomes corrupt, impure, vicious. They, in other words, they have lost the power um, and that is when, to bring this shift, we need some other energy to bring in that change. And for that, we will go into this cycle and understand about the different um, phases souls and the matter go through. Initially, when the souls started their journey on this earth, the souls had qualities similar to God: love, peace, purity, happiness, bliss, power. Souls were very pure. At the same time, the matter or five elements were also pure. What it means is, when souls are pure, matter is pure, then the construct of the physical body will be very healthy, very beautiful, and they will have longevity. To, to describe a little bit of golden age, which we also call that as heaven, where when the soul is completely pure, we consider a purity of 16 celestial degrees. When you look at the sun, when it is fully bright, it is 16 celestial. And when it is so bright, and assume that even the matter is supremely pure, then the construct of the body will be so beautiful from 360-degree angle. the body will look so beautiful. There will be no disease because the body is made out of good matter, five elements. And just imagine souls with body there, with divinity, they will not even sneeze, forget about having any bodily ailments like fever, cough, not even sneeze. So you can imagine how beautiful, higher conscious that world could be. And they will have a lifespan of 150 years, never fall sick even one day, 1 minute. And even in their 150th year, not have any wrinkles, no white hairs. They age very gracefully. Souls have no trace of any kind of negativity. It becomes possible to be in a world like that, to have a physical body like that. And that world there is, there are no hospitals. There is no insurance companies. There are no police department. There is no judicial system. The whole world looks like one family. Unity to the highest level, which is called the highest civilization of mankind. One language, one community, one world. When it is a family concept, there is no need for police. There is no need for a justice department. And as the souls come down, you remember that cycle? We go through the cycle, like spring, summer, fall, winter. It is exactly the same thing here too. And when it comes to silver, the matter has already been used up. Souls have started to perform actions, combination of soul and matter, and it is used up a little bit. And obviously, there is a wear and tear. So the body construct will reduce little bit. So if the lifespan was 150 earlier, it became like 120, 125. But still, they will have a healthy lifestyle. These two era is considered as, this is heaven and this will be semi-heaven. Where souls enjoy peace, love, happiness, day in, day out. Just imagine golden age, there is spring all through the year, no seasonal change. There is flowers blossoming every single day of the year. It's picture perfect, perfect description of heaven. Even when couples get married, they get married at the age of 50. They will have their first child at the age of 75, not through the act of sex lust, but through the power of their own consciousness. They are aware that they are energy. They are respecting the matter. They are aware that they are energy. And the actions that are performed at this time are called neutral actions, because souls respect matter and matter gives them the best. Once we pass through this phase, we get into a third phase called Copper Age. And remember, these souls, when they started their journey, the power starts to deplete gradually. It may not be noticeable, but it just reduces gradually. And by the time when they have come here, they have used up a lot of their energy, and then there is a shift that happens when the souls starts to get influenced by the body. Souls move away from their awareness or consciousness of soul and move towards body. They consider themselves to be body. This is the time there's a shift that happens where the negative actions start to be noticed. Anger, greed, attachment, jealousy that we have learned, those things starts to you know come to surface at this time. And obviously the matter also reduces in its efficiency, in its richness, because it has also been used. So the construct of the body will start to notice diseases, population starts to increase, and as the number of people increase, the quality of life also starts to reduce gradually. And then we come here to Iron Age, which is a era of darkness. Darkness of what? The souls once upon a time were rich with all qualities of higher consciousness, of love, peace, purity, happiness, bliss. Remember, no trace of any kind of negativity. No trace. They don't even know what sorrow is. what anger is. And when we come into this iron age, it's a dark age, dark phase in the cycle where souls are polluted, infected with negativity because of body consciousness, attachment, greed, jealousy, all of that in the mind, words, action. That is when this, you remember yesterday the karmic account? The karmic account starts to build from copper beginning. We all have our own book with several chapters. In each chapter, whatever you have done, recordings in the sanskars are there. An account of the soul, which is the karmic account, is built here. And yesterday, someone was asking, how come this pandemic, everybody is affected? The answer to that is, we are in this time of the world era where every single soul is polluted with negativity. Soul's original qualities of peace, love, happiness is replaced, not fully, but to a very great extent, with anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, all of that. There is no single human soul who can say 24 by 7, 365 days, I am peaceful, happy, loving, blissful, powerful. At this time, in the Iron Age, we will not see it. Every single soul, no matter what position, what status they are in life, this is the time that we are in. That's why every soul is experiencing one or the other type of sorrow. And if you look at the body construct, you will see even small babies, small children have health problems, chronic issues, because matter is also depleted. Abused, misused. We see hurricanes, earthquakes, torrential rains, extreme heat, so on and so forth. Nature has been tortured. And obviously, whatever construct that happens from that is of a depleted quality. We have the greatest gadgets, most powerful advancement in technology. We can control a lot of things by press of a button. So many gadgets are available. What for all of these were invented? For human comfort, for human happiness, for human peace. But is it really, are humans really happy, peaceful with all the gadgets? We all use the WhatsApp. and we get messages left, right, center. You don't have time even to rest. Technology. Technology is very good, the advancement, but it has taken away one's peace, one's happiness, one's real self. Human souls have distanced from their original qualities, going after the material comforts. Something to think about. And see what is necessary and what is not. Any questions so far that we talked about?
I wanted to ask, so right now, the golden age and the silver age, you mean, is everybody's in the iron age, or are some people in this life in the golden age or the silver age, or, and so on? Can that be possible?
Everybody currently are in iron age. And I'm going to explain something else. Now, I thought I will pause and ask any questions so far. Yes, to answer your question, we are in iron age, darkness. Darkness meaning souls are polluted with impurities, with negativity. That is not their original qualities. All the negative qualities are acquired qualities because of body conscious. Over a period of time, remember that book, chapter by chapter? Souls are corrupted, they are depleted, and they need recharge of the battery. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Sure, Satish.
So it seems like, see, soul is the driver of everything, right? Mm-hmm. And so far, from what I understand, your material body is driven by whatever, like, the soul wants to do. So what was the reason, like, the soul started transitioning out from golden to silver to copper and then to iron, right? Like, what was the influence? Was the material, was the body able to influence it, or like what was, I need some clarity around, like, why would somebody leave a peaceful state, right, and then get into trouble?
Do you like to be in the age of 18 years all the time?
So it's a good question.
No.
Yeah, you can answer that.
Yeah, there are plus and minus points, right? So I would like to, but at that time I did not want to.
The reason I asked that is, we have to accept that this is a cycle. Just like I like spring, and after spring, summer comes, then fall and winter. It moves on. It moves on. Nothing is frozen like that. It just moves on. But I understand this, that this is how it is happening. Age always goes up and doesn't come down. It's a cycle. Tick, 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 it moves on. And same thing with the qualities of the soul. Once upon a time, it was beautiful, and gradually it starts to reduce. Just like early morning is beautiful, 10, 11, 12, 3, it changes. And evening you come, it is tired, the atmosphere is different. And night, you want rest. So it is a cycle. It goes on. There is no escape. Yes, Lisa.
Another question.
Yeah.
Like that Iron Age, the Golden Age, is this a particular, you say we're in a time, is it like a physical time? Is it certain years, or is it follow a time in that way?
Yeah. So if you look at the recorded history, we are in the age of 2020 after Christ, right? And that is the benchmark for our recorded history. And there is no recorded history prior to that. Yeah. So there was life before that. And what we understand now is souls at a higher consciousness, purest form, were there. And just as I walked through the different phases, they went through the different phases. And now we all have come into Iron Age. Every soul has to go through that phase. Like Satish was asking, right? It is good to be, 18 all the time, but it doesn't work like that. I have to enjoy that 18. I also learned to enjoy 19 and even 50. Because it goes on. Moment by moment, moves on. The moment what I have now becomes past. And the present moment, you cannot have a still. It just moves. Moment, second by second. Right? Every single day, when you look at the mirror, you may not see much notice. You may not notice much changes, but you're gone one day older. Right? That means it's moving. So I need to accept it. Law of nature. Because body is bound, law of nature. I cannot be sweet 17 all the time. I will reach one day 80 if the body is good shape, but I cannot do same thing what I can do in 17, 18. Changes. My life habits changes. Like when you're 20s, you want to do a lot of things because you have a lot more energy, physical energy. As you go 40, 50, 60, even though the soul has, liking to do a lot of things, but body doesn't cooperate because there is wear and tear. Every day you sit up, get walking, do a lot of activities. There's a wear and tear. It's a mechanical thing, physical, right? So I understand this, and then I move on. And the best way to do that is to enjoy and be happy every moment. Rather than, oh, gee, I wish I was 10 years younger, I was 20 years. No, it doesn't work that way. have to be in reality. Any other question?
I have a follow-up question. So
Sure.
we were just talking about like the population of the world from 1 billion, it's whatever, 2 billion, it's almost like 7 billion. So you can see like the number of souls has increased, right? So if golden age had X number of souls, right? Like where did this other souls come from? Or is that like a constant number? Because they are not destroyed, they are not created, not destroyed, right? The soul is a constant. So is that like where did this other souls come from?
Soul world.
Okay.
That's the home of souls.
Okay. So there is like this place from where all the souls
Come down.
come down.
Correct.
And so does it mean like at that time, since the number was, maybe let's assume there is a number X, but I believe since the population was not as much, right?
Correct.
Those were, they did not have any kind of, they did not adopt any body, or they were not part of any body.
No, when the souls are there in the soul world, they don't have body.
Okay.
Souls, when they come down, only then they adopt body. They get the body.
Okay. Yeah. So my it's very, very hard to, so out of like, say there were, so let's assume for an example, there were 50 souls in golden era, like golden age, right? Then, so by the time you get to iron, there was like 100, right? Did all this 100 go through golden, silver, copper, and then get to the iron?
Yeah.
Age?
I will answer to that question. You will get the answer to that tomorrow.
Okay.
When I talk about the tree, it will explain very clearly, and you get the answer for that. You hold off on that question.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Just a quick feedback.
Sure.
Yesterday, what you said about like soul being a book and what you're living right now, right, is just a paragraph, right? That is huge. It really, I was able to relate to it, and it was very helpful for me to think from that perspective. So
very good.
I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Very nice. I mean, all this concept, it is not my property. Even I learned like the way you all are learning now. And I like a lot of things. I put a lot of things in practice, and I have that, liking to it. And I am in front of all of you to share it because I feel it is beneficial. It has benefited me. And I want to do this, best service, the greatest service to help humanity is to let them know what they were, what they are, and what they have to become. And if I'm, in this limited thing of having relation issues, fighting with somebody, for what? I get a bigger picture now. I look unlimited. I look at eternity. If you look at visionaries, they think 100 years ahead. And Supreme Soul comes and is a biggest visionary. And he's talking of book, several chapters, each chapter corresponding to one birth. Big deal. One birth is like 80, 100 years max, whatever it is. Beyond that, whatever I have done in the past is what I am today. What I will be tomorrow depends on what I do now. But I need to get this clarity too, understanding too, to do that. Yeah, thank you. That's good reflection for you. Anybody else?
So I had one last question.
Okay.
So right now, are we saying we all will be going into golden? Are we just going to follow that?
You ask the question and you are going to answer that yourself.
Seems I would like to go from iron to gold.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Instead of I would go, you should, the language should be I will go, I have gone there. I'm eternal, right? I will go, I've already gone, I am going there. One of the things that I learned with the Brahma Kumaris is the language and the words that I use. I should be peaceful, I would be peaceful, I would be happy. That's not the right language. The language is I am peaceful, I am happy, even though I am not, but I am instructing the mind, I am happy, I am peaceful. Because you remember, thoughts influences my feelings, feelings influences my attitude, attitude influences my action, my action when it is repeated, it becomes habit, my personality. I am changing my own thinking. I am peace, I am love, I am pure. What this does, I don't need to go out in search of peace, love. I am that. Why should I go out to get it? See the difference? So the language matters. How I instruct, how I communicate with myself, that builds energy. You will notice it gradually. But I need to change my language. We say, Om Shanti, I am peace. Whenever I say this word, I need to instruct and stabilize myself that yes, I am peace. It becomes a habit. Nothing is rocket science. Supreme Soul comes and teaches us how to think positive. Change your thinking from negative mindset to positive mindset. Unlimited, eternal, broad minded, big thing. Very easy to say, but to implement, then you will really feel something you have, you feel in your own self that it is beautiful. When I say I am peaceful, I am love, when I start to give, there is joy in giving, not in taking. This is what we learn here. Okay? Did this go? Okay, here. All right. Now we took a peek at all of these different phases that souls go through and also the matter goes through. We did understand that God is eternal, souls are eternal, and now matter is also eternal, but it goes through different phases. Now, souls have gone through, and now we're in the Iron Age. Okay? Now, pay little attention to what we are going to explore now and how this paradigm shift begins to happen from now on. We are not exactly in Iron Age. We are in that chaos phase or confluence age, which is connecting one era to another era, one phase into another phase is called confluence, joining of two. It is that if you look at that cycle, right? Once the winter finishes, then again spring starts. There is that little transition. So, likewise, when all souls are completely depleted from their original qualities and they are completely corrupt, full of vices, negativity, where souls are experiencing sorrow. I described yesterday sorrow. Sorrow means any kind of pain, suffering, anxiety, fear, doubt, irritation, frustration. They are all signs of sorrow. How did we get sorrow? We got sorrow because of impurities. What are impurities? Anger, ego, attachment, jealousy, hatred, and their children. I'll give an example. Anger. Anger's children are bossy, pushy, stubborn. They all come under the category of angry. So you can see all the children of all of these vices, they have clouded, polluted the soul. And the root cause of these vices is body conscious. Souls have completely forgot their identity and consider themselves to be body, and we are attached to body belongings, bodily properties, bodily attractions. We are in that mode. And when souls are in that stage, that is when the reset button happens, when souls are completely degraded, left with very little of their original qualities. Begin when they started their journey, 16 celestial. When they came to silver, it was 12 celestial degrees. Now from 16 it became 14, and when they got into copper, it was 8 celestial. When they come into the end of Iron Age, it is 4 celestial degrees. You can just imagine the level of peace, love, happiness has been chopped off from the soul, and these vicious, impure energy have taken over the soul, and soul has lost its power. And since souls have lost their power, it has influenced and impacted the matter too. Souls are supremely powerful. When they exercise negative energy, it impacts on the matter. Having said that, this little period is known as confluence. This is where Supreme Soul, God, intervenes and gives us the knowledge of our own journey. How once upon a time you are so good, so beautiful. Look at your state that you are in today. God, when He comes, He does 3 acts: creation, sustenance, and destruction. God does not create a physical world. He does not sustain a physical world, nor does He destroy a physical world. However, God plays a unique role. He is the director of this world drama. Souls are all actors, and the matter is the stage with the lightings where actors play their part. What God does is He purifies the impure soul through spiritual knowledge, spiritual discipline, and then souls will regain their original qualities through remembrance of the Supreme Father, to become a karma yogi. Even while working, you will be able to remember and then do your job or work, considering that you are a soul, child of God, and now is a time for us to settle whatever the bad things that we have done from several chapters. Now is a time, confluence age is a time to settle all our past wrong actions. At the same time, also need to build stock of good qualities so that we can play our part here as well. So God sustains, creates the spiritual awakening and gives the spiritual knowledge. And what does He destroy? God destroys the impurity in the soul through spiritual knowledge called Raj Yoga. He makes souls king of themselves. He makes the soul ruler of mind, intellect, and also the five sense organs. Through regular practice of spirituality, spiritual study, which I'm going to talk tomorrow, you will get to know what disciplines one needs to have so that you can be part of the transition of the soul and transition of the world. That's why God is remembered in so many different ways, because the act what God does is something no human soul can do. All human souls are in this cycle, but God is above and beyond this cycle, but He has the knowledge of how this cycle goes and the knowledge of how souls play their parts. Just like parents, mom and dad, know their children very well, God, Supreme Soul, knows His children supremely well. Was that good enough?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
The question is, you've mentioned about the confluence, right? And how all the souls will transition out, right? So if everybody is going to transition into the golden era, the golden age, how are the souls who are practicing, like who are into spirituality, going to be treated any differently? Because if the next station is going into golden age, how is, like you've mentioned about spirituality, the Raja Yoga meditation, like how is it going to play? I think that's my question.
How is going to play what?
To get into, say, you have that transition time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have like so many souls like who are under Iron Age.
Mm-hmm.
So if everybody is going to transition into that next station, right? Why does somebody have to go through? How is the spiritual practice going to help us? Is it going to help us
Hmm.
looking at things differently, because there is so much suffering in the
Yeah.
iron age, right? Is it going to help us look at that? Because knowing the fact that anyways the next station is golden age,
Hmm.
does it help you live a better quality of life, right, in your current
Yeah.
whatever body you have?
Yeah. So to answer that question, it is similar to the question that you had earlier, and I will ask you to wait for tomorrow, and you will get to know, you will get clarity on how souls come, who are the souls who go there, and how the population increases. Okay, that will answer your both questions. Yeah,
Mohan, I have a question.
sure, sure, Naresh.
Yeah, so
I don't
a
know why
lot.
your video is not showing up. It is showing only mine.
Oh, I don't know.
Did I need to do something?
It
No,
was showing up for
I'm
us.
on video.
You are on video, but I see myself in the screen here. I don't see you. I mean, I see you as a tiny, that gallery view.
Or maybe you're on full zoom, right? So because you're on display mode because you're presenting.
I am in the speaker mode. Whatever, whoever the speaker is, I should get the screen of them. Anyway, go ahead. No worries.
Okay, so I had a question on the karmic accounts, and sort of the question is,
Okay.
do our
Now I got it. Go
oh
ahead.
yeah, the question is, do our karmic accounts impact our children's karmic accounts, and does our grandparents and parents karmic account affect our accounts? Because in Hinduism that's also a concept, right? So how does that how does that add up to the karmic equation?
No, it's an interesting question. And this karmic account is a very complex thing to deal with. And I will be very honest with you, because the more you get into your spiritual path, you will get to know a lot of different things on your journey, and your intellect starts to open up. And the more you start to bring purity in your own life, you get a lot of things clearer. And you, some of the things you don't want to pay much attention anymore because you feel it is not relevant. And as I mentioned, every single soul have their own book of several chapters. Even though husband and wife live in the same home, same under same roof, sleep on the same bed, but each one have their own book of several chapters. What they are together in this birth is a one chapter, not even one chapter, which is few paragraphs within that chapter. That is how you are. So souls carry their sanskars, good and bad package, into a new family. And since now we are in the stage of settlement, every soul, when God incarnates on earth, it is a time for transition and chaos to happen. Spiritual awakening happens. At the same time, souls have to settle their account with matter. Souls, when they abuse, misuse the body that was given to them on loan by matter, body does not belong to the soul, but soul gets this body. And now, because of all the actions that every soul has done, it is a complex thing, and they will have to settle. You get, that's why you get certain mom, dad, siblings. Now is a time where you have to settle, and you will go through all kinds of issues at this time. So to answer your question, everybody's journey is different, even though they may be connected to you biologically in this birth, not necessarily in all chapters.
Okay, thank you. That's
Sure.
helpful.
Sure.
And by the way, I wanted to mention thanks for sending those emails and the videos and the PowerPoints. That the videos are really helpful because when you kind of listen to them after the classes, it kind of reinforces what you teach us.
Yeah, very true. Because this is a very unique knowledge, and it also needs a lot of hand holding initially, because so much of things, it is not easy to comprehend in one go. And unless and until I start to really, believe in certain things and make some changes in myself. Yeah. And I think Sister Elizabeth is also going to come in, and she's also going to share of, if you are interested in the advanced thing, she will mention about that at the end of the session tomorrow. As we know, tomorrow is our last session, and we will be covering quite a few things as well tomorrow. And then if you feel it is really good for you, and yeah, I mean, we cannot force anybody or change anybody. It has to be individuals' realization for the change, right? I can share what I have learned and what I have experienced in life, and I'm sharing, the concepts what I have got. Yeah. So this is good. I feel good if it is benefiting you.
It's definitely helping.
Sure. Thank you. Okay. How about if there are no other questions, we can have our meditation. How is meditation practice going on? Does anybody wants to share? I mean, no force, but if you feel it is good or you're feeling that it is helping in your own personal, understanding, anybody wants to share before we get into the meditative?
Yeah, I've been trying in the morning and in the night, but it works better in the morning, like you said, right? Like, I'm an early bird, so if I do it like 5:36 in the morning, it I think really helps. And to do it in the evening, it's tough. You have too many distractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. In fact, the Brahma Kumaris, we encourage to do the meditation in the morning time, because morning time we wake up early, like 3:34, and that time, everybody else are sleeping. And this, when the day is about to break, even the oxygen level is, there is no dirt outside, everything is so calm. And even our soul world is land of silence, land of peace. It helps for to, our journey to move upwards and stay connected with Supreme. That way it will help our concentration, and whatever thoughts we plant in our own mind in the morning, the same thing gets carried forward. It influences our activities during the day. It is like charging the battery early morning. You charge your cell phone in the morning, it is 100%. Then you can use that cell phone talking during the whole day. Same thing when I am in this yoga in the morning, half an hour, 1 hour, it charges myself with the highest energy, and I can deal with that day activity. I meet so many people or interact with others and try to solve problems. I have that energy, positive energy, of godly energy, that makes a lot of difference in our lives. Yeah. Thank you. All right, let me get As I sit comfortable, and the pure form of energy. I go back to my home, my eternal home, land of silence, land of peace, where I am staying with my eternal Father, eternal Mother. I am in my pure state, peace, love, purity, happiness. As I descend in the am not aware, I slowly lose my conscious. My energy depletes. I become body conscious, unaware. Negative actions, negative thoughts starts to begin. The karmic account, which was neutral, now starts to build up. And as I pass through several births, negative actions through the mind, words, and actions increase gradually. I enter the phase of Iron Age, age of darkness. Souls are corrupted, polluted, vicious. I become impure. I've experienced a lot of sorrow, but I've reached a phase where I am connected. God, Shiv Baba, has recognized me. I am his child. It is time for me to recognize the Supreme. He is giving me his inheritance, highest energy, the purest form of energy. He is charging my battery. And as I am getting charged, negativity, weaknesses, impurities automatically gets destroyed. He makes me to gain victory over these negative forces. I feel regenerated, re-energized, recharged of my full potential. This phase, this era is even more precious than golden or heaven because I have the understanding of the whole cycle now. In golden age, I have no understanding of how this cycle turns. I feel I'm enlightened. My life is beautiful in the company of the Supreme. He has given me a spiritual birth. I have done very good karma for God to recognize me as his child, and my good karma to recognize God, my Father, my Mother, my eternal teacher, my eternal guide. This union is very precious. Not even worth to compare with any dollar amount. Because this inheritance is eternal, unlimited, not for one birth, but for many. I am rich, I am royal, I am pure. I have played a beautiful role on this earth. I am the master of the world. When I become powerful, even 5 elements become my slave. No untimely things can happen. In this very nice conversation and feeling, I come back into this consciousness of this physical body. I thank myself, thank my Father. Om Shanti. Thank you all.